Shot, everybody. Welcome to Rebel Force Radio live from ICCC in Nashville at the beautiful, gorgeous Sheraton Music City Hotel and Convention Center. We are live from the podcast room, and it feels a little bit like podcast open mic. Like we're auditioning for something. We're going to try out new material here. But no, it's awesome. So we're streaming worldwide on the ICCC Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. And the main thing is it just feels great to be back together again in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know, and credit where credit is due, because it was this convention that showed the rest of the industry how to do it when everyone was trying to figure out how to come back, and Mike and his team just did it. So hats off to them, because they didn't wait around and ask permission or any of that. But introductions in order. We do know there are new people joining us that haven't listened to Rebel Force Radio or watched us. So if this is your first time, this is RFR, your source for the Force, your home for everything and all things Star Wars. My name is Jason, and with me, as always, my good friend and yours from Chicago, Jimmy Mac.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Star Wars fans. Yes. So happy to be here in Nashville. You guys have no idea how long I wanted to do a podcast from Nashville, and I'm so happy we're able to do it with so many fine-looking people. This is a fine-looking audience of Star Wars.
Tremendous. Some OG fans that go back with us for a long time.
This is true.
Listeners going back to day one, it seems like.
Yeah.
So thank you all for turning out. We really appreciate it. And we've had a really good time so far. I mean, I took a bit of a gamble bringing the family with me. I knew that was going to be, I mean, you've done this many times. I mean, we did the Disney trips and all that. This is my first time bringing the family to a convention. It's been really great. Everybody's just been, Parker got noticed outside.
No kidding.
Yeah, we were waiting for the Uber Eats. Yeah, and some guy comes up and he goes, "You're Parker, aren't you?" And my son's 9. And he was like, "Stranger danger." And I looked at him like, he's okay. He's okay.
Wow.
Yeah. He thought that was pretty cool.
Is that person here in the room? Does anybody want to admit?
Tim?
Hey, Marcus is here. Marcus from the 501st, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at him over there.
There he is. Look at him. That's a good. Come on up here for a second, Marcus. I want to say hi to you. Okay, you come on. Can you?
I don't.
He's in full armor, ladies and gentlemen, and this might be difficult for him to get up on the stage. I don't know.
We have steps
yeah,
over
come
here.
on over here. We got steps. Marcus is an old friend of ours. He's from the 501st. As if you couldn't see, he's splendid looking in his pure white Stormtrooper armor. And come on up. Come on.
He can't sit. He can't sit, but maybe he can.
All right, don't sit. But we'll just move the mic over here. Can he sit? Can he sit? Come on, give it a shot.
Oh, here he goes.
Ouch. Ow! Oh! Nope, it's not happening.
Hey, have you ever seen a Stormtrooper try to sit down?
Look.
Now you know why.
Thank you, brother. I mean, I did want to ask you about any injuries you may have sustained. Can we move this up a little? Any injuries you may have sustained while out trooping?
Just your occasional armor bites here in the
Yeah,
when I like bend.
Have you seen the video of the Stormtrooper falling down the stairs?
Yes.
Now, is anything like that?
No.
Well, I mean, without cameras, yeah, but I mean...
No, nothing.
Come on, just admit it.
No.
What's the... I don't know how to ask this question, but what was the weirdest thing you've ever done in Stormtrooper armor?
I have some guys strap my crotch, but that's about it.
The line is forming now. So that's a little something we didn't know was going to happen here at the convention. But if people do want, I'm sure you'll maybe take a donation for a charity and they could come up and engage in that activity with you, right?
Correct.
Okay.
If you want to give it a shot live on stage, you're more than welcome to.
All right. Marcus is available for photo ops throughout the entire weekend here at ICC.
And crotch strapping.
Yes. If you so desire. But the Force is with him, and we're so happy to see
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Does anybody know Puppet Lando?
Puppet.
Are you familiar?
Puppet.
Yeah. Puppet Lando couldn't make it.
Is he here?
He couldn't make the trip. Sorry. He will be in Anaheim, though.
Okay.
But Puppet Lando, he has a very busy schedule, as you could imagine. And
He's actually shooting a new music video.
yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Follow up to My Felt Needs to Be Felt. We're working on a Puppet Lando EP, actually.
Okay.
So maybe you can get the Legion behind that, and you can join us for the world tour.
Okay.
It's only 2 songs, so it's a very short show.
I have something for you.
What do you have?
Could you give me a hand?
Yeah.
Oh, what's... Uh-oh.
Hold on. And I need you to look that way.
Okay. All right, Marcus has got something for us, and he wants me to look that way. I get nervous diverting my attention from a stormtrooper standing behind me.
Hold on.
Maybe it's...
Oh, look.
You know, the Empire is oppressive and evil. You guys are the bad guys. I just want to point that out.
Okay.
Should I look? I don't know what's behind me, and I'm afraid to look. Should I look? Can I look?
Since Lando couldn't make it,
Uh-oh.
your other friend is here. And that's for you, my friend.
Oh, my God. It's Zero the Hutt. It's a puppet Zero the Hutt.
Go ahead.
Puppet Zero, ladies and gentlemen.
Get your fingers
All right.
in the straps. Do you
All right.
feel
Oh,
the
there's straps. I'm not a very good puppeteer.
Thank you.
All right.
Here we go.
Who needs the microphone? You and me.
I can hold it. I got you. No, thank you. Nope.
All right, look at the puppet, not me. Hello there, a senator in this neighborhood. Oh, the horror.
I said, where did you get this? This is amazing.
I had it made.
This is crazy. I feel like I'm on some kind of weird. I mean, like, was something in this coffee? I don't know what to say.
That's
man.
incredible. That is
We're
absolutely
gonna milk
incredible.
this thing for all it's worth for years to come. Ain't that right?
That is
You damn straight.
that is definitely.
I love you, Marcus. I love you. I want to take him home with me.
He's all yours.
Talk about the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, you guys, this is crazy. This is crazy. Well, we're gonna have to practice.
He comes with his own box too.
Yeah.
Like the
I don't
puppy.
know what kind of a recording career this guy's gonna have.
Oh, it's like a Muppet.
Shocked.
So you
Oh, I can
Yeah.
use the stick and everything.
For the hand, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, Marcus. I'm blown away. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus
Wow.
scoring 501st.
You like it?
I like it. Are you kidding me?
Dude, that's amazing.
Wendy is going to be so happy when she comes home and finds this guy in bed with us. Oh, maybe she's watching. Hello, Wendy. Zero's coming home, honey. The horror.
My life is never going to be the same.
The horror. Oh, my God.
That's
Does anybody want to ask Zero the Hutt a question while he's here? Yeah, Jeff. Are Zero?
Are you talking fisticuffs?
Mr. Zero, are you planning on bumping nasties with Puppet Lando at some point? I don't think that's very appropriate. Jeff Holland. That's, ladies and gentlemen, RFR VIP Jeff Holland is here.
Yes.
Patreon listeners and supporters might know him from the RFR Q&A. We have so many familiar faces and friends here. People who've listened to the show for a long time. People I've conversed with via Get out of the way, Zero. You're gonna sit right there.
Look at there in the chair.
Hello. You got to sit close to me though. But so many people I've talked to via social media and stuff. It's so wonderful to meet people for the first time, face to face. We have a Jimmy Mac Cosplayer here today.
Is he
As if the show couldn't get any more weird.
There he is. Look at him back
Here,
there.
come on up here.
Step on
sir.
up.
Is that Chris? Is that Chris?
Yes.
Chris, you want to come on up here? I want everyone to see what Jimmy Mac cosplaying looks like. Usually I look in the mirror just to see this, but I mean, this is pretty accurate. He doesn't have his microphone with him. Let's just come on up here so the cameras can get you. This is pretty much it. I'd say it's pretty accurate.
Hey, Star Wars fans.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you, man. I just wanted to show you off because I'm rather flattered and horrified at the same time.
And that, by the way, I did say that's the cheapest cosplay you're ever going to find. But he quickly corrected me and said, no, your merch is too expensive. So
He does have an RFR shirt, and underneath it, he has a Chut Chut shirt. And with that is a hoodie.
Yeah.
So he's sweating bullets. To add more authenticity to the cosplay, he's sweating.
the Sweat-Eye Jedi at one time.
Yeah, actually, Nick Allard, the swordsman and stunt coordinator from the prequels, I actually learned how to saber duel from the master himself. And I was dripping in buckets of sweat, flop sweat. And he commented on it as profusely as I was perspiring. And it was very embarrassing. And I became known as the Sweat-Eye Jedi from that point on.
If you're going to be christened by somebody, I mean, you know, Nick Allard, that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
That comes with a lot of authority. Well, speaking of guests, we have a couple of guests. If you are a member of the Rebel Force Radio Patreon, in which we hope that some of you are, and we know some of you are, we've got the Freaks in the house.
We got the Babu Freaks. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Page from the Babu Freaks, Brian Klein. Patreon supporters know these guys as the Babu Freaks. Our other fellow freak, Barry Harmon, couldn't make it. But we got two Babu Freaks with us.
Yeah. So, given the fact that this is, I think, the first time for all of us at this particular show, what are your thoughts? That we were thinking that this feels, and I mean this in the absolute best way, like old school, like the old Star Wars fan days in Texas, where it's just, you know, you're not treated just like a piece of meat like you are at the big shows. What are you thinking about your experience so far?
I've liked it so far. It's been nice and intimate, and you get to do everything. We went in for the Ian panel for a bit, and you got right in. You get to go into the booths for the show floor, and
yeah, and you're not in like a stadium watching Ian McDiarmid.
It's not a cattle call either,
right?
You know,
right.
Besides getting in here, you know, that just shows how many people are here. It was a little bit of time to get in, but it's been great so far. And the atmosphere it's just also just great to be back in a setting like this too. So,
yeah, and it's a great family show, I think. So if you're trying to get, you know, the kids to a show and you know, celebration or something like that would just blow their minds and you know, it'd be too much for them. This is a great way to introduce them to the whole idea. And then, you know, like I say, you're right up on top of the actors and the personalities and the cosplayers and everything. It really is, it's tremendous. But the one thing that I noticed right away in going into the dealer room was, you know, you have those fantasy dreams about like going into a children's palace like in 1980. You just see walls of vintage stuff. That's what this dealer room is like. I've never seen so much vintage Star Wars in my life in one place. Incredible. Do you pick anything up?
Yeah, I was looking for the San Diego Comic-Con 2019 Boba Fett exclusive, and normally it's out of my price range, but here I was able to talk to a guy and make something work. So right away, you know,
they work with you.
Yeah, $200 right away. Wow! Within the first 5 minutes. Of the show.
Which one is that?
It's got the one with the Kenner paint job instead of the.
Right.
6-inch on the 12.
Black Series.
Yeah, very cool. How about you?
got about 4 things in mind. I'm doing.
You're still scoping.
Yeah, I'm scoping.
Are you want to let us know what they are so that we can buy them
I'll
first?
definitely. No.
Jack up the price. Like if you see a guy in a Hello There shirt and he wants to buy this.
No, there was a couple. I probably will go back today and probably make an offer, or at least pick one of the things up, because there's one that was quite within my range.
Which is, you're burying the lead.
Something on the floor. I'm not going to say now to the people because they're going to start hijacking it.
They wouldn't do that to you. Are your is your wife watching or something? You're kind of afraid? Okay.
No, Liz. Liz might be watching, but she's fully supportive of it. So.
Oh, all right. That's great. That's the only way it's going to work.
Yes.
It's either that or you just hide everything in a basement.
Oh, I know. And I have friends that are like that, and I'm just like, how do you all of a sudden pull out a Jabba skiff and say like, or the sail barge and be like, oh, I just had this. No, you didn't. That thing is like a piece of furniture almost. So.
Right. Well, the best thing about this is Jimmy will walk in with this Zero the Hutt puppet.
Hello.
Wendy won't even do a second look. She'll just be like, Jim's home.
I'm home too, sweetie.
Jimmy Mac, though, you got one of your Grail items yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did. You know, collecting Star Wars old school stuff since 1978. It's been a blast, but there's been some casualties along the way. And me and my brother, we saved all those boxes. We weren't thinking as investors as kids. We just liked the boxes, and we saved them all. And they all got trashed in a sump pump accident circa 1986. And since then, I've just been trying to fill in all of those holes in my collection. And one of the things I've always loved is the Darth Vader TIE Fighter, the vintage Kenner Darth Vader TIE Fighter. I love the box. I love everything about it. And I have turned down purchasing it in the past, but I found a price that I couldn't beat here at this show. The pricing at this show is great.
Yeah.
They're not trying to just rake you over the coals. A lot of these dealers are very fair in their pricing.
Well, I think because they're getting a fair price on their table in their exhibit space, so they don't have to have that, like, that markup.
Make up that
Nice.
money right away.
So the savings get passed on to people like us.
For sure.
So that's a good deal.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I don't know
So is it just-
if I should be interrupting this entire show.
No.
No.
But I can't help myself. The horror.
Go down there. Go away.
Now I'm just waiting for you to ask me my next question, Swank.
Well, I did want to. I thought you guys might throw out a topic for us to talk about. I think we're kind of putting you on the spot, but is there anything kind of in the scope of what's happening right now with Star Wars that you've got us, you've got the whole audience here to weigh in on?
You got me.
When you put your little head on the pillow at night, Tyler, what weighs on you as a Star Wars fan, good or bad?
Everything, but really, right now, Kenobi. I mean,
That's what we're all talking
I
about,
hear
right?
Yeah.
there was some conversations had yesterday here that
Yes.
were pretty interesting.
We're supposed to say anything about that.
Wait, what conversations?
Well, Ian said something at his panel that he wasn't supposed to say. I guess.
Ian
All right,
McDiarmid.
get right in the microphone and tell us exactly what he said. You can tell us.
He's right out there.
He said it was okay.
Petting the kangaroo.
You may see him on Disney Plus relatively soon. So
He said what?
you may see him on Disney Plus relatively soon.
All right. Did he swear you into secrecy, or you could not reveal this?
He said it in front of. I mean, I heard it secondhand from our friend Todd. Oh, he said it.
Oh, he said
Okay,
it's
so I guess it's out there anyway.
Oh,
so
he's
yeah,
trolling.
never listen to me then.
All right, he's trolling. Well, that's,
So you're
okay.
fine. Hit squad get.
Is that of you all out there? Is that a surprise to anybody? Just out of curiosity. No. To see Ian McDiarmid, right? Doesn't he sort of have to be in it?
Yeah.
A little
much,
bit.
yeah.
I mean, we know we're going to have Vader, and Vader is. There's actually a recent interview with Hayden Christensen where he's talking about getting in the head of Vader at this time, which I like that idea because I think it's just going to be. He's going to be a little more layered than what we saw in Rogue One. I think we're going to have probably some Rogue One moments, hopefully, but I think we're also going to be getting under the helmet a bit. And Palpatine is so crucial to that.
Yeah.
He's got to be there. You got to see that manipulation continuing on throughout his development as a character. So, and we have to have Ian McDiarmid, right?
Oh, definitely, for sure.
You would think. And then, of course, Liam Neeson continues to say
Pretend like he has
he's
no
not
idea what's
going
going
to
on.
be in.
He pretends
Kenobi.
he doesn't even know what Star Wars is.
Yeah, he does.
Really?
So what is this, streaming? Oh, sure, Sounds like a good idea, Maybe they should do it sometime.
Yeah,
Well, they're doing it now, Liam. When did they start? They've already started, Liam. It's already out there. You can get the app. You can download it.
So you know it'd be great.
Oh, that'd be if they did that. That would be wonderful. Well, they're doing it, Liam.
What if you could just get this stuff on your phone or your iPad?
Sure,
They looked into that.
Yeah, you gotta just download it. That's what the kids do.
He only gets his news from people who are interviewing him. That's
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise, he's like, he's living on a ranch somewhere.
No, I'm hip. I'm up to date. I have a MySpace page,
Well, hey, we're talking about Ewan McGregor and Kenobi. So why don't we? Do you mind if we do some headlines? Could do some headlines.
Do you mind, Zero?
I don't mind.
Does the audience mind?
All right, let's do it.
They don't mind.
We're our own sound effects.
Good news for you, my lord.
That's
good news. Come closer, I have good news.
Boy, that's some high-tech production from Swank right there. He's really bringing his A game today.
Game prepared.
All right, we got some headlines here. Ewan McGregor says, I turned around and I'm going to clean this up. It's a family show. We have some...
What's it? Oh, it's the... say fish. Fish
Yeah.
instead of that. Can you do that? Can you say fish instead of the F word?
I'll try.
I appreciate
I
that.
turned around and fishing Darth Vader was coming at me. It scared the... What should we use for that?
Fish.
The shark.
It scared the shock out of me.
All right, one more time, please. We should get James Arnold Taylor in here to read these lines.
Maybe if I yell it loud enough,
Yeah,
James
just-
will pop in.
or
Like,
if
I
you
do
just-
a really bad Obi-Wan.
If you do, because he busts in like, you know, he's an EMT and he's
Did I do a bad impression?
Like the Kool-Aid Man or something. Just bust through the wall.
James Arnold Taylor's shape in the wall.
Yeah, he just busts through. Hello there.
I turned around and fishing Darth Vader was coming at me. It scared the shock out of me. That's what Ewan McGregor said.
That works.
So he was talking to Total Film, and yeah, he says, I've never met Darth Vader. And that is true. I mean, when you think about it, he didn't have any screen time with him, and it's, I don't even think he was actually on set when Hayden was doing his Revenge of the Sith stuff. So he says, I had rehearsed the scene with Vader, but not with the helmet on or anything like that. When we came to do the scene, when they shouted action, he had to come from behind me. I turned around and fishing Darth Vader was, I don't picture like with a rod.
Yeah. He's got the hat with the lures in there.
Instead of the lightsaber, it's a fishing rod.
Play me cooler of beer.
Fishing Darth Vader was coming at me. It was like I was 6 again. I'd never acted into Vader's helmet. I'd never looked him in the eye. It scared the shark out of me. I'm not joking. It gave me a proper jolt of absolute fear. I was like, oh my God, this is not acting. This is real. I'm really, truly frightened. And the same thing would happen with Stormtroopers. I'd worked with clone troopers. All right, blah, 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 blah. And he says, it's like fishing hell. But I have to say, the first time when I went to the Magic of Myth exhibit years and years and years ago, and that was the first time I ever got up and close with the costumes. And that was before I ever saw a 501st trooper trooping. And when you get, you know, especially someone, you know, my size, and you get up to that Vader costume, and it's in the, I mean, it's in really intimidating. Now there's somebody underneath it, you know, they're coming at you with a lightsaber. So I can understand. It's like, you know, as kids growing up with this stuff, I mean, there was nobody more scary, especially in that original generation before we, you know, we kind of got emo. But when we thought he was just like a crazy robot or so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little different now.
Yeah.
Before it was like we didn't know what that was other than like a cauliflower underneath.
Right. Well, now he's hating Christians.
Right,
So
right.
The tone has changed a little bit.
Right.
From the days when you thought he was like a hideous monster underneath. I used to play with these action figures when I was a kid, the 12-inch ones. And I had Vader, Leia, and Luke. And this is my scenario. I've had it on a table. And Luke defeats Vader, and he's down. And Vader's down, and he's dead. And Leia goes, well, we better take a look at what's under that helmet, right?
Right.
And so Luke flips off the helmet with his lightsaber, which I think is impossible. He would just slice that. But it would flip off. And he
Made sense when you were, you know, 9.
Oh, no. How he's just horrifying and stuff. But as the director, the audience never sees it.
Oh, that's
and then
cheap.
Luke puts his arm around Leia, and they walk off into the twin setting suns. That's how I would have ended Return.
That was your action figure role, or role
age
play, I
10,
guess.
age 10, kid
That's
in
not
the
bad.
70s. Not bad, not bad.
Does anyone still remember the plots that you had with your action figures and some of the stories? I
Yeah,
still
what do you
remember
got?
some of
Do
my
you
stuff.
remember one?
One of them had to do with, it was all of them on Hoth, and we were able to play with all the stuff in the snow, and it was just basically like a battle royal, like wrestling style, where they would come in one-on-one and fight each other, and then the next guy would come in, and then I'd forget about it, and come next spring, I'd have all my toys out in the front yard in the snow, and because I'd forget and be like, it snowed again, like, where did I put them?
That was a limitation because you could only work 2 characters at a time.
Right.
And yet, so sometimes you'd have like a whole group of them, and you just kind of like, you know, throw them around, and you know,
Well,
you
the
can
snow
have
was great because you
bodies
could
flying.
plant them and they'd stay standing.
Yeah.
You know, if you try to do it in like the grass or whatever on Endor, they just start falling over, and then you might lose them if your dad didn't cut the grass in a while. And you know, so at least with the snow, they'd stay standing, and then mom would call you in, you forget about it, you'd be playing some Atari, and then you come like, oh, where's the
the kid who forgets his action figures outside. Has anybody seen this photo? Somebody was cleaning out a bunch of brush and overgrowth in their backyard at the home they grew up in. It's like 30 years later, and they're cleaning up around a tree. And they look in the trunk of the tree. You can see that there's a vintage Stormtrooper. And the tree trunk actually grew around the action figure, and it became part of the trunk of the tree itself. It was just sticking out of the thing.
Nice.
It grew up, the tree grew around the action figure. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. No one, the tree's not going to stop the tree.
I've been looking at all the trees in my backyard for years to try to find something like this. Has anybody seen that picture online? Or am
It's
I just
very
tripping?
cool.
It was incredible find for me to see that. And
I buried a Chewbacca action figure.
you
once.
buried it. Why
Yeah.
did you bury a Chewbacca?
Well, things didn't work out so well for Chewie in my imagination, and so he died, and I buried him in my grandma's flower garden. And when he was he was there for a good 3 or 4 years, had to have been. And then when he got unearthed, Grandma was planting some more posies, as she called him, out there, and pulled him out, and all of his limbs turned green.
Oh, I've heard of
the
this.
body was the same color, the brown, but the limbs were green. And then I tried this trick where I would dye him, try to bring the brown back. It's a whole thing. Yeah, Toy Ploy makes it look very easy, but it's not that simple. I tried dyeing him, and he turned completely blonde. So now he's I've sent you pictures of this. He's like I don't know, who was the blonde Wookiee on in the holiday special? Wasn't there the
Is there a blonde Wookiee in the holiday special?
Well, the old man is pretty light, isn't he?
Yeah,
the one
kind of
that's
gray. Itchy?
Itchy. Yeah.
It's kind of,
Yeah.
It's blonde on some TVs because of the quality of TVs back then.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You can't get a good copy of that thing, so you won't really know what it is. Let's get back to Ewan McGregor. He says that it's like actual childhood memories of being scared. That's how deeply it's in us. I've acted for 30 years, and I've never been genuinely frightened when I'm acting frightened, but I had moments on this that were genuinely quite scary. So I'm wondering, if Ewan McGregor is freaking out on the set, are we going to see, do you think it's going to be more of that sort of horror-esque style of Vader that we saw in Rogue One? They're going to go for the jump scares and all of that?
Oh, I would love to. I would love to see that. You'd have to take advantage of the character for that potential alone.
Yeah.
That's just scratching the surface of what you could do with Darth Vader.
Well, I was thinking about that. I was like, this wasn't really part of the way the character was portrayed in the original. And then I remembered, no, there was all kinds of jump scares in the duel on Cloud City.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
He was always popping out, and you would hear the breathing first, then he would jump out. So, yeah, I agree.
I like
think
when
it's
the
gonna
pop out and the breathing are simultaneous. That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you guys feel the same way. It's just the pop out and the breathing at once. It's
so good.
Very yeah.
And then,
there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, we got more here. We got a composer. Check this out, Natalie Holt.
Yes.
Natalie Holt has been tapped as the doing the score for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. People know her from, I guess she scored the Loki series as well as the upcoming Batgirl movie.
Yes.
Which I'm excited about because Michael Keaton's in that. My Batman.
Her Loki score is really good.
Oh yeah, I haven't caught up with that series yet.
No. And she's also known for, she was on live on that Britain Got Talent and threw an egg at Simon Cowell on live TV.
Oh,
really?
Yep.
Was she singing
Really?
or something?
No, she
She's
was
a little
in the
pistol.
orchestra. Like she had gotten kicked off before, like he made a comment to her, so then she came back to be part of like the stage set.
Wow.
And then just threw an egg at her.
Oh, God.
So
Wow.
and
She's-
she still gets hired by Disney.
Yeah, she's one joke away from Will Smith, it sounds like.
This was, I thought, the most interesting part when they talked to her. It really wasn't so much about her, but it was about that when John Williams had reached out to Kathleen Kennedy and asked if he could do a theme song, because he never had a chance to do this, a theme song for Obi-Wan Kenobi. And apparently he said, I just want to write Benny a theme.
Now, is that William saying that, or is that Natalie saying that?
Well, I mean, this is, she said, so we spoke to Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy and said, I just want to write Benny a theme. Is that something you just make up spontaneously in an interview?
Benny?
That John Williams calls Obi-Wan Kenobi Benny?
Well, maybe that's inspirational to him as he composes the theme.
Well, maybe. I'm just saying.
Maybe he's thinking like Benny in terms of Benny Hill, and maybe the theme will sound like the Benny Hill music when they're running around fast.
The Vader helmet.
Benny Hill, Benny Kenobi. I've never ever, ever in my darkest, weirdest hours have I ever thought of referring to the character as Benny. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want this to catch on, folks.
No, we got to stop
if it comes from John Williams,
because you know how it is, it's going to become a thing now.
Yeah, but if John Williams says it, it's kind of cute. He's like 90. He's got the turtleneck. He's like, oh, I can't wait to do a theme for Benny. He's kind of like that, right? But like now, if like. All right, I got to work on the John Williams impersonation. All right. Yeah, you got a lot of work to do, fool. But the turtleneck, if I had the turtleneck on, it would have been more effective.
Oh, yeah.
But I just don't want this to catch on with fandom. Benny, can we all just promise each other there is a group of Star Wars fans gathered together? We're not going to run with this Benny Kenobi business that's going to be populating
everyone on
social
board,
media.
say aye.
All right. It's a John Williams thing only. It's a Williams exclusive. Ooh, Benny. Ooh, I'm like Floyd the Barber, John Williams.
I was just gonna say, why is he suddenly Floyd?
I got Benny a theme. Ooh, Andy.
I kind of liken it to Sheev.
Yes.
Sheev to me is like fingernails on a blackboard.
I'm even sorry I said that.
You should be.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new images from Kenobi? Check this out. So it's going to be hard for you guys. I'll put it up here to the camera. But I think this is total Outlander gear. Have you seen this?
Oh, look, Benny's in blue. Oh, see, I screwed it up. The first chance I got, I said Benny.
And you brought up my calculator. All right, so yeah, this is the... so this is...
It doesn't add up, Swank. It does not add up.
So yeah, he's got the Liam Neeson, that Outlander rap going on.
Yeah.
Sort of like blue jumpsuit. It's a cool look. But I'm hoping that we get to see him in the robes at least at some point.
Well, it looks like we see a sort of a variant of that in some of the other things we've seen. It seems like the brown cloak, the hooded cloak, is a constant, which is important to the silhouette of the character. I don't know if you guys have been hearing a lot of talk lately about the silhouettes of Star Wars characters being so essential to the character. As soon as you see the silhouette, you know it's R2, you know it's Boba Fett, you know it's Darth Vader, you know it's Ben Kenobi.
Right.
Ben Kenobi and the Emperor, they could sort of share a silhouette.
Yeah, but there's going to be a little more arch to the back on the Emperor. He's going to be a little more
hunched over.
Yeah.
We should do a quiz. Emperor or Obi-Wan silhouette. You have to identify. We'll come up with like 20 examples of each.
That would I like the idea of like a series of. Somebody's probably already done this.
I got quite the silhouette. Yes, I do.
You or a potato?
I thought this.
Excuse me.
We've got another. No, we've got another.
My last girlfriend was a potato. She had eyes for me.
Come on, give me a little groan. Oh, God. There's a dad joke of the convention right there.
All right, we got another one here. And this is Obi-Wan. I don't know if the camera's getting this, but you can see Obi-Wan. Now, talk about silhouette.
Yeah.
So he's doing, oh, man. It's just, I'm so much more comfortable in my studio at home. So you see how he's definitely undercover, hoping that nobody notices them. And this looks like Coruscant.
It does. It has a similar vibe, that Hong Kong vibe.
Yeah. I mean, talking about
Blade Runner, like
the
Brian
belly
says.
of the beast. If he does go to Coruscant, I mean, that's crazy. We've speculated that what he might be doing is sending people, the Inquisitors and Vader and people off his path because he doesn't want them to be anywhere near Luke on Tatooine. So he has to create this diversion elsewhere.
I think it has been revealed that this is a new planet It's not Coruscant. I think
Kyoto or it's some.
it has a name. It does have a name.
It's a little earthly. So it's this. So this is established. We know this is not.
Yeah.
Huh. It's got a very similar vibe. All right. Well, I'm corrected, as usual. And then there's another shot here. I think we've seen this. So Rupert Friend, but it does,
The Inquisitor.
confirm, as the Inquisitor, that he's going to have that lightsaber.
Yeah.
that we first saw.
I wonder if they're going to
Rebels.
have the helicopter abilities like they have in Rebels, and are going to be flying around with the lightsabers.
Yeah, like that. Some of that stuff made a lot of sense in the animated style, and I'm hoping that they walk some of that back a little bit because it just doesn't. It's not going to fit for me, but.
Yeah, there's some things I think belong firmly in animation, and other things, where you can push it a little more in real life.
I always thought that had a little bit to do with the fact that their force ability allows them to jump higher or levitate, so it basically just enhances it a bit. Like, I don't think they could sit there and fly for 2 hours like they're on a helicopter.
Right. It's not like Inspector Gadget.
No, exactly.
Where he's got the thing going around. But I want to know more about the Inquisitors, actually. I thought, that Rebels was fun because they just show up and they're shrouded in mystery. But there's a lot of thought about who they were, where they came from, and I'm sure there's some book or a comic that explains it.
Swank.
But it's for me until it happens on the
2017 run of Soul 7 through 12. They have the whole.
There you go. It is pop buzz, pop buzz, pop. No, so what I want to make sure of is, or what I want to know is, are they connected to those children of the Force that we saw in Clone Wars?
Oh yeah, that is a thread that would be great to connect.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I'm hoping that's the case, because that would explain how he has sort of farmed this or grown this group of Jedi or Force sensitives.
Rebels, like the Grand Inquisitor, used to be a Jedi, like a Temple Guard, and so some of the ones they brought in were Jedi, and then they sort of fell over. They were the ones that were the borderline. They might have fallen. Talk to me later.
Zero the Hutt was getting a little friendly with Brian there.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back to this Hayden Christensen. I mentioned this earlier. So this is a cool quote from Hayden, and he was also talking to Total Film. He's talking about Vader. He says, he gets knighted towards the end, and for a couple of scenes I got to put on the suit, but my journey with the character was with Anakin Skywalker. But the character, he's talking about Vader now, he's such a complex character, and now getting to explore the mindset and the emotional state of Darth Vader has been a lot of fun. And I can't help but think about some of the comments, Jim, that you've made about not necessarily wanting to see that version of Vader. You don't want to see Vader in his meditation, chamber looking at a hollow of Padme, little tear coming out under the helmet or whatever. I do, because I'm a hopeless romantic. I love that stuff. I think, it's been a kind of a controversial opinion of mine when we talk about when does he become Vader, and my theory is he never does. I don't think he ever fully gives in. But you don't want that kind of lamenting Vader, right?
I've always felt like Darth Vader fully committed himself to the persona of the Dark Lord of the Sith because he couldn't live without Padme.
Okay.
So he needed to reinvent himself just to survive. And conveniently, there was this dark side that he could tap into. And that helped him bury everything about his life as Anakin.
Yeah.
To the point of where he couldn't even acknowledge it. When you lie to yourself so many times, you actually believe the lie after a while.
Right.
As we often see in U.S. politics. But we're not going to go there. I just couldn't resist saying that. But I think that's how it was a defense mechanism for him at first. But I'm warming up to the idea of it not being so set in stone. Where he actually has to go through this evolutionary process. And he's still doing that at this point in the timeline with the Obi-Wan streaming series. And I think that'll be interesting. By the time of A New Hope, he is fully committed now to being Darth Vader. So we see no cracks in the armor. But he might have some cracks in the armor at this point. But again, I've seen the fan art of Darth Vader, helmet off, in his meditation chamber, head in hand, with the thought bubble of Padme over his head. That to me seems too vulnerable.
Yeah.
Too vulnerable. I'd like to see cracks in the armor. I don't want to see the dam completely break and flood the town.
And it can't. It can't really until Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
That is when, yeah, that's when
it's only Luke who
evaporate.
could resurrect Anakin at that point.
Right.
And that's how he does it. And it took me years to really wrap my head around all of that as a 14-year-old who saw Return of the Jedi in 1983. It seemed too simplified, you know?
Yeah.
That was just over like that. So I'm glad we're having a second chance here now with the Kenobis.
I love it. I mean, the fact that this stuff, to the extent that it can fill in the gaps without radically altering, the tent poles that it's doing that for, I think that's when it's fun and it's exciting. And we do want it to change the way we look at the stuff that came before it. I can't do this with
Zero
puppet looking at me like that.
Be a professional, Frank.
It's such a look of judgment in his eyes.
Oh, I'm judging. Oh, I'm judging. Everybody in this room is under heavy scrutiny.
But when you hear,
Yes.
but when you hear Hayden Christensen, of all talking about what a privilege it is to come back, and what was he doing? Smoking the pen? What was going on there?
No, he had a little lint on it. Like there's little hairs here.
He's made of lint.
I'm grooming Zero the Hutt right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you, Jimmy
There's a
Mac.
petting zoo
This
right
is like a
outside the door.
Petting zoo.
So I see photo ops.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Zero, want to meet a kangaroo?
I hop on over there and say hello.
But to hear
What the? Well, come on, God. I've been in this cardboard box. I don't know. Give me time to warm up.
But it is nice to hear Hayden Christensen talking about it being a privilege, coming back, doing the project, because it would be very easy for a guy like that, who wasn't always given, I think, the credit that he was due. We all make jokes and stuff like that. But I think that he tries to put he doesn't try. He puts a tremendous amount of heart in that role. And George wanted him to be this sort of, James Dean kind of guy that has the heart of gold, in there. And I don't want to say what's the. It's not emo. That's not what I mean. But the roughneck. The Brando, the young Brando, the James Dean that has that softer side to him. I think that's what they were going for. And I think, given that was his mandate, I think it's a great idea. A great idea.
Well said. Well said.
Hey, I thought what we might want to do here, let me see if I can pull this up. This might be fun. We have a little bit of time. Is there anybody out here that is going to be at Celebration?
Yeah.
Anybody out
Just
here?
a show of hands.
Okay. All right.
A few people.
Is there anybody out here that's going to Celebration that does not have a pair of tickets to the Rebel Force Radio Bash? That would like a pair of tickets to the radio? All right. All right, we're going to do some trivia. We need an opponent for you. What's your name?
Terry. You want to come on up here, Terry?
Come on up, Terry.
Yeah. All right, Terry, ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Terry. Over here, Terry. All right, Terry's going to take his position at the
who's his
microphone.
opponent?
We got an opponent. Come on up here, bro. All right, what's your name? Flynn, ladies and gentlemen. Flynn, round of applause for Flynn. Flynn is here. Terry is here. And we're going to have them square off.
Yes, sir.
With trivia. And this is for tickets to the bash?
Tickets to the bash. Tickets
Terry?
to the bash.
Flynn, maybe you guys can go together.
Well, we're booth buddies already, so we might as well make it official.
Oh, they're going to win.
Exactly right.
They're going to win.
Okay, all right. So let's see. We got to. Anybody got a coin? We want to flip a coin here.
I've got an app on my phone.
He's got the coin flip
app. He gets to go.
He knew somehow that we were going to need to flip a coin, so he downloaded the
Call it
app.
heads or tails?
Sure.
Tails.
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 All right.
And the coin is flipped, and we have heads or tails. We do have
Tails.
Okay.
All right, you first.
All right, the way this is going to work is we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi quotes. All right, spans all of the character's history in Star Wars. And you have to fill in the gap, okay? So you're going to go first. All right.
Try.
So the first quote is, "Hello, blank."
Come on.
It's going to warm up. It's going to get harder.
I mean,
There.
let's try a little bit. I mean,
I think I hear that in my sleep because that's part of my openings from
Fill in the blank.
my YouTube videos.
fill in this blank. Kenobi.
Yes, that's correct. Hello there. All right, next question.
Wait, is it Obi Benny?
Obi Benny.
All right.
Why is everyone calling me Broby-Wan again? Did I ask people to do that? I did? Because I was like, wow, that's weird. Everyone's calling me Broby-Wan.
And J-Dog.
And J-Dog, I understand. Yeah. Steve Sansweet tried to get that happening years ago.
Okay. All right, you ready for your next one?
Is me again?
Yeah, he's got to screw up in order for you to get a shot here, all right? Okay. These aren't the blank you're looking
You've
for.
got to be kidding me. These are hardcore fans, and you're asking these softball questions. This softball
answer?
questions.
I'm gonna go with droids.
Okay. Droids plural?
No, it's actually Cylons.
Plural.
Cylons you're looking for.
Come on, Thwank.
All right.
Challenge these people.
Chancellor Palpatine, blank are our specialty.
All right, that's it. I guess you
Okay,
got
all
it.
right.
Let's go. I'll go with. Is it negotiations? No.
Is that your final answer?
That is his final answer.
Negotiations. Judges? Try again. You, sir.
Chancellor Palpatine, Sith Lords are our specialty.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sith Lords. Speciality. Doesn't he add extra? It's our speciality. Speciality.
Oh, all right. This is going to get tough. Now we're going to go back to we're going to go to Rebels. This is the countdown or the showdown between Maul and Kenobi. And he says, "Look at what I've blank above."
Risen.
Judges. Risen. I even know that one.
Yes.
Wow, he got it. Nailed it.
Look at what I've risen. Hey, we have a tie game, don't we?
Are we keeping track of points? I wasn't keeping track of points.
Yeah,
2 and 2.
2 and 2.
2 to 2?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got it.
Okay.
How
All
many
right.
questions are we going to ask?
There's 10.
10. Let's do like best of
Best of
like
7.
how about next one because it'll be a tie.
I'm a wrestler. I'm fond of best of 7, so
All right.
works for me.
Be careful of your blank, Palpatine.
I believe that's 2 words.
Flatulence.
Be careful of your
Friend.
Friend.
I even tried to throw you off. Yes, friend is
I was going
correct.
to
Wow.
say friendship with, but
How did you try to throw him off?
Because I didn't use the right inflection.
Oh,
I
tricky.
mean, it sound.
He can also do the alphabet without singing the song.
Blank, uncivilized.
so uncivilized.
Yes, of
Well,
course.
that's easy. I was
All
going to say
right.
blasters.
We got
are
one more.
So
If he-
uncivilized.
All right.
If he gets this, you lose.
All right,
You all
Terry.
right with that? Okay.
The pressure's on, Terry.
Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to blank.
To democracy!
Is that it?
See?
That's it.
That's it. We got it.
All right, that's it. You did it, man. Congrats.
Actually, you both win.
guys do
You're
both win.
both going to get tickets. To
I was going to split the tickets with him. That's
Wow!
Yes. Thank you. High
Make
five,
sure
man.
we get your information before
Absolutely.
we wrap this up,
Absolutely.
okay? Congratulations. Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Thought we'd have a
Thank
little fun with that, you know.
Yeah, here. Just scribble down the
Is,
names.
You've got just a...
My card.
Sure, man.
Yeah, that's fine. Wait, I think, is Eric from Phoenix here? Eric from Phoenix.
Get up here, Eric.
It's very fitting that he close us out here. Come on up.
Get up here, Eric. It's time to pay your dues.
So Eric from Phoenix, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for RFR VIP, Eric from Phoenix. Now, something we do on RFR on Patreon, I've been seeing a lot of our supporters here at the show. We do a bonus podcast called RFR Q&A. And RFR Q&A is hosted by members of the RFR VIP tier at patreon.com/RebelForceRadio. Jeff Holland is here. He's an RFR VIP.
Is that Chris Mock back there?
There's Christian Mock here. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is. The Mocktails is here. And catch him while he's sober.
Too late.
Too late. But Eric from Phoenix is an RFR VIP and somebody who contributes to our RFR Q&A show. And that's a show when RFR VIPs bring the topics of conversation to the microphones and we discuss. So we're going to try to do here in 8 minutes a quick RFR Q&A. Eric, you have the topic of conversation. And so we're going to roundtable this real quick. What are we going to be talking about on this Q&A?
Well, my lovely wife, Andrea, who's here with me, came up with the topic, and we were reflecting back on conventions and Star Wars Celebration and thinking about what's the best part of going to Star Wars Celebration. And what we reflected on was waiting in line.
Okay.
And I know waiting in lines. Well,
Yes.
so in Indianapolis, we were at Star Wars Celebration 3, and we were in line all day, and we met a couple individuals that we now hang out with at every Star Wars Celebration, and that's been 17 years ago.
That's
wow.
And what's better yet is I waited in line. We waited in line. We got to know them. We hang out, and then she went and waited in line all day at the Celebration store, and I'm not joking. It was literally all day at the Celebration store with these folks. And how much fun it is to get to know people from all over the country or all over the world.
7 minutes, Eric. 7 minutes.
Yeah. so getting to know people, getting to meet people, and then we ran into somebody she waited in line with in Tucson here a couple weeks ago that she waited in line with to get into the store, who lived in Florida, who's originally from England and then moved to Tucson, and we just randomly ran into him at Tucson Toy Show. So
that's so cool.
That's the topic, people, getting to know people.
Getting to know you.
Getting to know all about you nerds.
I have to say that for me, probably the most profound getting to know you moment at a Star Wars Celebration was getting to know this guy. It was Star Wars Celebration 4, and we had already been working together virtually.
Yeah.
Before that was cool. Before that was like a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to like really kind of push the limits of what, our internet speeds and all that stuff back then to be able to get those. Jimmy, we all know from those old days how much Jimmy loves Skype.
Oh yeah,
he still has the scars.
Yeah, right. Skype.
But
yikes!
It was one of those cool moments when, you think you know somebody and then you finally get together with them in person, and it just adds that extra layer onto the relationship and the friendship and just cements it. And it was fun because it was like we had known each other for such a long time, but we had never met. And it was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Definitely one that sticks out for me at C4.
Well, I knew at that convention when we were together in the same room for the first time that I really enjoyed making this guy laugh. That's something I enjoy doing. And so that was a beautiful friendship was born there, essentially. And we include Billy Mack in on this because it's like a brotherly thing. And I've always enjoyed sharing my fandom my whole life with Billy. And so he'll be with us in Anaheim and everything. He couldn't make it to this one. He's got a gig, big shot musician. That is just a great one. The reason I did this in the first place, back in 2006, actually the year prior, I had hosted a radio show for CBS Radio. It was a special leading up to Revenge of the Sith. I had pitched this to CBS, and they ran with it. And I went to Star Wars Celebration and interviewed all of these actors and stuff, and I had the time of my life. And I wanted to replicate that, and there weren't any opportunities in broadcast radio to do that once Revenge of the Sith came and left. And so I stumbled upon this guy's show and loved the chemistry and heard what he was doing and knew that I could maybe help him get from point A to point B with the show. And I remember the first time I talked to these guys, they gave me an assignment, and they wanted me to create a new show intro. And they thought they were going to trip me up by giving me the song from the Return of the Jedi Special Edition, Jedi Rocks. That one with Joe Yowza, who goes, yeah, you know, all that. And I think they thought it was really going to mess me up.
A little bit of hazing. We just
a
let's see
little
how
bit.
good Mr. Chicago radio really is.
And I dove into that little assignment and came up with something pretty good, I thought. And it really stuck and kind of became a trademark of the show. And we got along really well
I
after
remember when we
that.
got the email with the attachment and we listened to it. We were like, damn. He is really good.
They wanted to burn me out. And I figured you guys had a thing going for a few months. And then here I come segueing into it. And the first thing I would have thought is this guy's trying to take over.
We thought
that's only human nature.
I still think that sometimes. No, well, we do need to wrap things up. Thank you very much, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Here. Thank you to the Babu Freaks.
Thanks,
you,
Freaks.
all of you, for being here.
All you guys.
Special thanks to our podcast room hosts.
Yes.
The Orman brothers.
Yes.
They'll be playing at the Ryman tonight also. But Matt, Brian, and Jim, thank you guys very much. Thank you to Michael Havens for having us. It's been awesome. Special shout out to one of my oldest friends in the world, John Pica, Cereal Box Podcast. I've known John since I was 11 years old. So it's awesome to see him.
They got stories. Yeah. John's been drinking curdled milk all weekend long, and it's beginning to affect him in ways that he never expected, quite honestly. When he walked in here, that goatee was brown. Let's just say.
But anyway, thank you all so much. Appreciate it. We love you all. We'll see you next time. For Rebel Force Radio, I'm Jason.
And I'm Jimmy Mac.
And remember,
be with you always. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.